I'm going to do a slight, thanks very much for everything you showed so far. I'm going to do a slight change of tack and show you what I've been using Civo and K3s for, rather than showing you some of the platformy bits that the other guys have been through. So how do I make this go into, I'll just do it like this. So I'm going to talk about application development with Civo and K3s. But by application development, I kind of mean platform applications. So the kind of applications that the marketplace allows you to install, and things to install with Helm, and sort of third-party things you might need, like Cert Manager or Rancher and the UI and all those bits and pieces. So I spend most of my spare time contributing to OpenFaaS, so OpenFaaS and Arcade and bits and pieces. So it's more from like a framework, platform, and like tools and process perspective that I talk about applications that I develop. So the problem I have is that I'm testing the installation of my application into a brand new cluster rather than like upgrading my application version within the cluster. So I'm testing a lot of Helm installs, a lot of automation and tooling, so that the people who want to use the applications that we develop can easily install those on their own clusters. So it's a little bit like testing the marketplace applications kind of thing. I have to test multiple versions of Kubernetes because there are loads. And also a lot of the stuff that the OpenFaaS team look after is multi-CPU architecture. So as well as your traditional AMD64, we also target ARM. And K3s is great for this because it's got really small memory overhead compared with a traditional Kubernetes master node. So you get a lot more like spare resources, especially if you're deploying onto like Raspberry Pis and things. So it's great for that. And I use a lot of clusters. I destroy a lot of clusters. I might go through like 15 clusters while setting up some new installation types. So things that are free are always great for me with your beta credit. So thanks, guys. So yeah, I think I've gone through most of these, but one of the main ones in there is fast to start. So if the Civo team do get down to their 30 seconds, I will buy you a whole case of beer. So challenge out there, it's on video, so good luck. That would be amazing. There would basically be no need for me to run K3s locally or anything, so that would be amazing. Yeah, so as we've gone through, faster start, hopefully getting faster for Civo's K3s. It's quite easy to use compared with the whole setup of Kubernetes on another platform. So I don't know how many people here have deployed to EKS or GKE. There's a lot more stuff you have to set up, a lot more things you have to pay for before you actually get to installing your application. And as I've mentioned, I do all this for free. So things that are cheaper are better for me, yes. Yeah, and the team at Civo and all the guys and the community, I found them really sort of welcoming and supporting. So thanks to everyone that's present. That's really great. I said it's fast to start, but how fast? This is a tweet from November last year while Andy was at KubeCon. He managed to track down an issue in the platform, fix it, test it, deploy it to their production cluster, and I created a new cluster before one of their competitors' Kubernetes clusters had even started. So I was already well on my way, having gone through all of that before one of the other providers' Kubernetes clusters had even started. So if you can get to 30 seconds, that would just be amazing.
That's my favorite tweet of all time.
Yeah, I love it too. It was amazing. So yeah, you were just there, I imagine, in the KubeCon, just like on your knee with your laptop, tethered to your phone or something. It was great. So
exactly that.
I'm just gonna do a quick demo again. Live demos, we love them. I'm gonna show you Arcade, which is like a Kubernetes app installer. You can think about it a bit like the Civo marketplace, but instead of being only able to install stuff on the Civo K3s, you can install this onto any Kubernetes cluster with a single binary. And this is the kind of thing that, whilst I'm testing and developing, the app, I'll be using Civo and K3s to help that churn of having to use a lot of new clusters to deploy stuff onto. So demo time, it's relatively short, you'd be glad to know. So Civo arcade. So I'm going to install a few like platform applications, as I've called them. So first off, we'll just show you what arcade install. So arcade, we've got support for all these lovely apps. So OpenFast, all sorts of lovely bits and pieces in there that you might need and might want, in KDE, bits and pieces. Yes, so I'm going to install Nginx Ingress so I've disabled the default traffic from this cluster when I installed it. We're going to install Nginx Ingress, OpenFast, Cert Manager, and then hopefully get a TLS certificate for our OpenFast installation in 1, 2, 3, 4 commands, fingers crossed. So that will go off, and basically Arcade wraps Helm charts and creates like a, oh, that broke. Oh, it's because I've got it already installed. Nothing to see. We can see it wraps the Helm charts and provides sort of typed flags. So in Helm, you pass in like you set parameters. But you could spell those wrong, or you could pass in like the wrong value for true or false and spell it wrong, and then it would all install correctly, but your configuration wouldn't be put through. So you'd end up potentially with a hard problem to debug, something running in your cluster which you thought was working. So Cert Manager. So Cert Manager should allow us to get a TLS certificate for OpenFast, which is already deployed now. And when that's gone in, and that was really quick, I should be able to get the password for my OpenFast installation. You can log in if you wish. So OpenFast, Civo. Oh, looks like I've already logged in, but we've now installed on that cluster OpenFast with a TLS certificate from Let's Encrypt. It was that easy and that quick, and even I managed to get it right. And just have a look what's running. We've got some bits and pieces in there. I actually just installed all this earlier, so I did a cheat on the demo. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you, and that's me. Thanks very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Alistair and Sam and Kai, for your talks. All very interesting stuff.